Good day, everybody. I hope that you're well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 2 English lesson on prefixes and suffixes. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts, grade 2. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of prefixes and suffixes. All right, so our chapter is prefixes and suffixes. Our subject is English Language Arts. Grade 2. And our lessons are to identify base words, prefixes, and suffixes, and to determine the meaning of a word with pre, re, or with miss. All right. So when it comes to, let's say, our base word, right? A base word is a word that can stand on its own. And that base word, right? It has its own specific meaning. Then we can either add our prefix to the base word and then it will change the meaning, or we will add the suffix to that specific base word and it will change the specific meaning to that word, right? Or with some of the words, some words can have both prefix and suffix added to the base word, and then it basically changes the meaning of that word. And if we look at an example, right, the base word within this example is the base word is help. So the base word is help, right? And help means that you're doing something for someone. It's like you're assisting someone, right? But now we have our our prefix, and you will find out that the prefix, it it means something. It has its own meaning. The suffix has its own meaning, right? And once you add that specific word, or let's say you add either the suffix or the prefix to that specific word, then it changes the meaning of that base word. And if we look at the word, we said help is our base word, right? Help. Help can stand on its own, right? It's like making it easier for someone, or making it possible for someone to do something, right? It's like you're offering your services, you're offering your time, and that is help. Now, if we look at the prefix an, prefixes are words that we add in front of a base word. So this is our base word that can stand on its own. Now, a prefix is a word that you add here in front of a base word. That is where we add the prefix. And then we have a suffix, and the suffix is what we add at the back or just behind of the base word, or at the end of the base word. And that is where we add the suffix. And if we look, sorry, and if we look at our prefix an means it goes before the base word, right? And here we will put our word an. And a suffix, it goes after the base word, and that will be full, right? So which means that if you add those all of those words together, and then it will be unhelpful. Which means that now unhelpful, right? So unhelpful means that you are not being helpful. Help, right, is when you are assisting someone, you're offering your services to someone, you are helping someone. But if you're being unhelpful, right, then it means that you are not being helpful. It's like the opposite of helpful, opposite of helping. If we can maybe say you're being helpful, right, without using the and we just say you're being helpful, and then it means that you're either giving or you're ready to give help. Like you are there to assist them. Like I am helping someone. You're being very helpful. You're assisting someone when needed. You're being useful as a friend, as a child at home, helping your mom. You're being helpful, right? But as soon as we, for example, say unhelpful, then unhelpful is the opposite of helping. You are not helping. You're not being helpful, right? So do you see how the meaning of the words change just by adding either a prefix or a suffix to that specific words? All right. So now we're going on to our we said our We said the lessons that we're going to be focusing on is determining the meaning of pre, re, or miss, which means that we need to know what pre means, we need to know what re means, and we need to know what miss means. Yes, unhelpful is both prefix and suffix. So unhelpful is both prefix and suffix because when we add the word un in front of help, and then it means that that is the prefix that we added. And once we add the word full after the word help, and then it means that we added the suffix. Yes, that is correct. Un is the prefix and full is the suffix. So we can even remove the one. We can either remove the prefix and just say helpful with with the suffix, and you will get your answer. We can just have the base word, or we can just add the prefix to that word. And before we go to aplusstudents.ca, we are going to also find out what pre means. Because we said that also you will determine later on that the meaning of the word pre, re, and miss, they also have their own meanings, right? And if we look at the word pre, right? The word pre, or let's say the prefix pre, it means before. Then we have the word re, which means again. And then we have the word miss. And the prefix miss, it means either where you are, it's like it's either wrongly or it's badly or it's incorrectly, right? That is what those three means. And we are going to find out or determine the meaning of each one of those. And those are prefixes, right? And if you look at this word so long, pre, if you can think of a word in the meantime with the word pre, can you think of a word that has the prefix pre in front of it? Can you think of a word that has the prefix pre in front of it? Think of when you're baking, or think of when you're cooking even. It's something that you do before. So think of, let's say you're baking, right? So when you're baking, then they'll sometimes tell you you need to preheat. Have you heard of the word preheat? It will tell you to preheat something. Not necessarily that you will eat before you work, but it means that you will heat up something before you before you either eat it or before you make it or something, right? Because usually they will tell you when you're busy baking or you're about to bake, then they'll tell you to preheat the oven. Because preheat the oven means that you need to heat the oven before putting in the dish with the raw materials in, right? Can you maybe think of a word with re? Think of the word with re. And yes, re means again. So let us think of a word with re. Something that happens again. All right, so we can even say repaint. And what does it mean to repaint something or to remake something? What does it mean? What does it mean when we say either repaint or when we say remake something? All right, pre-bake. Yes, pre-bake means that you need to bake before or something. It has been baked before or something. Reheat, retry. Yes, we do it again. Reheat means that we are heating it again. A retry means that we are trying again. Retry, yes, it's like, for example, the first time it didn't work, but we are trying and trying again. So he retry, we call it retry. It's like doing it again, yes, right? Repaint means that we are painting again. Remake means that we need to make something again, right? So well done. Those are words with re, right? It's like you're doing it again. It's something that you're doing again. And then lastly, the prefix miss. The prefix miss, right? Miss means it is something that is wrongly. So miss means wrongly. It is something that is wrongly. And if we think of a few words with miss, think of someone who doesn't listen, that is going on all the time. What is the opposite of behave? Okay, we can say mistake is also one thing. Mistake because it means that you wrongly did something. Yes. So mistake because you wrongly did something. You made a mistake. So mistake is correct. Yes, it was a mistake. So what does that mean? I did something wrongly. I made a mistake. Yes. So if you're not listening or you're not behaving, that means that you are misbehaving. So misbehave, right? Right? It means that you're doing things wrongly. So that is a few examples of our prefixes, which is pre, which means before, re, which means again, and miss, that means wrongly. And you will also find out that when it comes to our prefixes and our suffixes, we will have our base word. Like, for example, in this sentence, preheat, right? Our base word is heat. So now we add the word pre to the base word and then it changes the meaning of the word. Because heat means, if you look at the word heat, heat means to warm up something, right? So it means that you're warming up something. This is now heat. But now, as soon as we put pre in front of the word heat, then it means that we are warming up something before we are eating it or something like that. And the same with re and the same with miss, the same with paint. Paint is where you're painting, right? But now, paint is our base word, something that you're doing. And then as soon as we add re, which is the prefix to our root word or our base word paint, then it means that we are painting again because re means again. The same as like make. I make something, I construct something. That is our base word. Make is our base word. But as soon as we add our prefix re in front of that word, then it means that I'm making it again. Even marking, yes, remark, right? So remark, it means that I am marking it again. To double check the answers is correct or the work is correct, I'm going to remark it. I'm going to mark it again. Right? So well done. Those are but a few examples of re, of pre, and of miss. So let us go to A plus students.ca. And then we go to our first lesson, which is going to be to identify base words, prefixes, and suffixes. That is correct. Make is our base word. We can put basically any prefix or suffix to the word make, and then it will change the meaning of that word. So well done. Same with disrespect. Respect is our base word, right? Respect is when you are showing your trust and your respect to somebody. Disrespect is again the opposite of respecting somebody. It's like you're not listening, you're not respecting somebody. So well done, right? So now, once again, we have base words, right? And base words are words that can be combined. So base words are words that can be combined with a prefix as well as a suffix, right? Which means that we can add a prefix to the base word and it will change the meaning to the word. We will can add a suffix to the base word and it will change the meaning of the word. Or we can basically add both prefix and suffix to the base word and it will change the meaning of the word. But also base words can be used on their own. And like we said, with paint and with make and with heat and behave and respect. Those are words that can stand on its own, and those are base words. Same with misuse. Use can stand on its own, right? Miss is the prefix, and miss means wrongly, right? Which means that it means that if we say misuse, then it means that we are using it wrongly. And we made an example of unhelpful because help is our base word, un is our prefix, full is a suffix, and we have created this word which is unhelpful. All right. So now we need to look at this word. It says, what is the base word in endless? If we look at this word endless, yeah. If we look at this word endless, what do you think is the base word in this word endless? The base word, the word that can stand on its own. The base word, the word that can stand on its own. All right. And if we choose our base word, then we can say our base word is end. So our base word is end, right? Our base word is end, it can stand on its own. And the word that was added to the word base, to the word end, right, is the word less or less. And less or less means without. So this word, less or less, the way we would say it, it means without. So if you look at the word without, right, less, then it means that we would say if something is endless, what does it mean? Think of this word also. If something is endless, then what does it mean? It means it is without end. Because it is endless, it is without end. And that is why I was saying that either your suffix or your prefix will already give you the meaning of a word. So since we added less, that means without, we added the word less to our base word. Now it means without end. It's just on, it goes on and on and on, and it has no end at all. Yes, well done. So end, it means finished, right? End means finished. But now, just see how the meaning changes. Because if end is finished, now the word less means without. Then it means that if we put that two words together, then it means that it is without ending. It's not going to end, it's not going to finish. So, do you see how the word now changes? The meaning of that word changes. So, it is without end, it is not going to finish. All right, so well done. All right, let's look at this word. What did we say re means? What did we say re means? Yeah, we need to say first, what is the base word of the word reopens? Reopens. What is the base word over here? The word that can stand on its own. What is the base word within this word? Reopens. The base word. The base word, the word that can stand on its own. All right, so our base word is open or opens, right? And what did we say re means? What did we say re means? And we said re means again, right? Which means that this means that we are opening something again. We open again. That is what reopen means. So do you see how we need to look at the word and look at the meaning of the word, or at least try to find the meaning of the word before we can then add those two together and then say, okay, this is what the meaning of the word means. Exactly. And we made an example of reheating it. It's like warming it again or heating it again. Right? So well done, guys. All right, let's go to our test. Right? So we're going to our test now. And we need to say what the suffix in sureness is. The suffix in sureness is the word that you add to the base word. It's a word that cannot stand on its own. So if you look at the word sureness, right? What is the suffix, the word that is added at the end of the base word? Is it sure or is it ness? The suffix. The suffix. Remember, suffix gets added at the end of a base word. So is suffix sure or suffix is ness? Option one or option two? The suffix. The suffix is a word that is added at the end, at the back of a base word. So is it sure or is it ness? Which word cannot stand on its own? Can sure stand on its own? Can ness stand on its own? All right, and if we were to identify what our suffix is, the word that is added at the end of our base word, and then we would say it is ness. Sure can stand on its own, not ness. Ness is a suffix. All right, so well done. We need to identify the base word. What is the base word? The word that can stand on its own in restarts. Restarts. Is it starts, which is our base word, or is a base word? Remember, restart. Base word is a word that can stand on its own. The word that can stand on its own, right? Is it starts can stand on its own, or can stand on its own? If you look at that word do you think can stand on its own? If you look at this word can stand on its own? Is that a word? Or is starts a word that stands on its own? It's a complete word. All right, and if we were to choose the correct word, then we would say starts is our base word that can stand on its own, right? So well done. Starts is our base word. We need to identify the base word within remix. The word that can stand on its own. Is it re that can stand on its own or mix that can stand on its own? If you look at that word, which word can stand completely on its own? It is a complete word. Can we say that re can stand on its own? We look at that word, just two letters. Is that a word? Or is mix a word that can stand on its own? All right, then if we were to choose our base word, then yes, we would say mix is our base word because re is a word that we add in front of our base word, right? So well done. Well done. All right, now we're going to determine the meaning of the word, which is pre, re, or miss, right? Pre, re, or miss. We say that a prefix can be added to the beginning of a word. So we have a base word, right? And then a prefix is then added to the beginning of that base word and it changes the meaning of the word, right? For example, pre means before, and we made an example of it, right? We made an example of re, which means again, and we made an example of miss, which means either incorrectly or poorly or wrongly, right? And examples of pre, you guys mentioned preheat, pre-made, right? And if we say pre-made, pre-made is when it was made before, right? If we have the word re, if we think of the word redo, redo is like where you do it again. Retry is where you try it again, right? Remake is when you make it again. And then we have the word miss, which is incorrectly, poorly, or it means wrongly, right? And with the word miss, it can either be misread, where it means that it was read incorrectly or it was read wrongly, or we said it was misbehave, where you are behaving in a poor way or in a bad way or in a wrong way, right? So those are our prefixes that we added to our base words. And like you said, prefix, it has its own meaning. And once you add it to a base word, then it changes the meaning of a word. All right? All right, so now let's go to our test and we are going to determine what the meaning of these words are. So what does pre-make means? What does pre-make means? Pre-make, does it mean it makes poorly? Or does pre-make means makes before? Makes poorly, option one, or option two, makes before? So pre-make, does it mean to make poorly or makes before? All right, and if we were to choose the correct one, we would say Pre-make means to make before, because we said pre means before. So well done. Re, reread. To reread something. Is it to read incorrectly or to read again? To read incorrectly or to read again? Reread. Option one or option two. Is it to read incorrectly or to read again? All right. And if we want to reread something, then we read it again. Well done, because re means again. All right. Then what does repaint mean? Is it to paint before the time or is it to paint again? Repaint. To paint before or to paint again? Repaint. All right. So if we want to repaint, that means that we need to paint again. It's like saying, oh, this is not nice. I don't like this color. Let's repaint again, right? We're painting again, right? Then the last one. What does misreads mean? Misreads. Does it mean to read incorrectly? Or misreads mean to read before? Misreads. What does it mean? Does it mean to read incorrectly or we're reading it before? All right. And if we want to say what the meaning of misread is, then yes, it's to read incorrectly, it is to read poorly or to read wrongly. Right? So well done, guys. Well done. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on prefixes and suffixes. We said that with prefixes and suffixes, we have a base word, and the base word is a word that can stand on its own. And with the base word, right, we can either add our prefix to the base word, which we add a prefix before the base word, and we add our suffix at the end or after our base word, right? And then it basically creates a new meaning or the meaning changes, right? And we said that the meaning of pre means before, the meaning of re means again, and the meaning of miss either means wrongly, or it means poorly, or it means incorrectly. And once you add that word, these three words, pre, re, or miss, to the base word, right? It is the prefix and it changes the meaning of those words. All right, so thank you very much, grade two, for joining the class. I really hope that you have a better understanding of what prefixes and suffixes are, and you should have a good day further. Goodbye.